Can I tell you something? Social media has actually managed to convince us that for us to be able to romanticize our lives, we need to have stupid amount of money. Money that they will accuse you of doing fraudulent activity. That's what social media has made us believe. That apparently you need to have a vacation to Santorini every 2 weeks. You need to always find and be in the latest restaurant spots in your city. Meanwhile, some of us, if not a lot of us, are just trying to survive until the next payday. We're just looking forward to salary week with everything we have in us. But it's something I have realized in my few years of living on earth, that most of my most precious moments, most of the moments that I cherish most in my life, most of the moments that if I die right now, God forbid, if I die right now, you know that moment in movies that will tell you that once someone passes on in like 5 minutes, that literal life flashes, like they have glimpses of in like 5 to 10 minutes. Me, I don't know. Because clearly I don't know. They have like a recap of everything that's happened in their life. I'm pretty sure that those moments would be there. And it was so shocking to find out that those moments were not things that were money dependent. Yeah. So if you're interested in knowing how to romanticize your life, even when the money is not flowing, even when you're broke, even when you're seeing the bottom of the barrel and it's seeing like this eyeball to eyeball, this is how you can still enjoy life and still make life worth living. My name is Goodness. If it's the first time seeing me here, hello. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for clicking on this actual video. Over here on my channel, I like to make you feel pretty on the inside as well as on the outside. So speaking of on the inside, we have self-development videos like this one you're actually about to watch. We have videos that speak about how to make our environment work for us, things like that, because I understand that life can be pretty hard sometimes and we have to make do what we can make do. And when it comes to being pretty on the outside, I also film some little itsy bitsy makeup tutorials and hair videos that you can watch and also enjoy. So if all of this is your vibe, if this is what you're interested in, then do well to subscribe. I'd love to see you here in the next video I put out here, okay? I don't want to come looking for you in that next video. Mark your attendance below by hitting the like button and also leaving a comment. So without much ado, without much rambling, let's get right into this video, okay? I need you to start finding the silver lining in your clouds. For the past few months, I have been going through a rough patch, and one thing that kept me sane, SANE, is finding the silver lining in the clouds, finding the good in what present as ugly. So if I had a bad day, if my car broke down, if I just had a very rough day, I would try even if it's so hard to find, I would try so hard to find one good thing that happened. And most of the time, it started with the fact that I'm alive, I'm healthy. A lot of people cannot easily move their body at will. And the fact that I can do that and I'm even mentally stable enough to know that I had a bad day, it's enough reason to give all the glory to Jehovah. Being someone that studied science while at school, I know how complex our body systems can be. I know how if you have one itty bitty tiny pain on your pinky finger, I know how much that pain can affect your head, how it can affect every single thing you're doing. Or even if you have a sore in your mouth, it will just ruin the entire day for you. So the fact that I am healthy, the fact that I had food on my table, I could actually prepare the food I wanted to eat, and I'm not stuck in whatever was available. I could say, oh, do I want to have this? Or do I want to have things that once upon a time I was praying to God for, things that I was trying to save up for? I can see them actually. There was once upon a time where I wanted to have a camera so bad, and right now I have a camera. There's time that I wanted to have this actual color of phone. If it was not this color, I was not having it. So those tiny things, I like to keep them around me as a reminder that, okay, whatever I'm going through right now, if I could go through what I went through and I can touch my camera right now, any other thing that's happening right now, one day, I'll be able to touch it and say, yes, I went through this and I passed it and I'm surviving. Okay, so try and find the good in things that are supposed to frustrate your life. Okay, if your kids are disturbing you, at least thank God that you have children. If your kids are having trouble, at least you have a car that can give you trouble. Do you get the whole point? Second thing I need you to know and to always have at back of your mind when you're trying to making ordinary things feel extraordinary or intentional, if you want to put it like that. While I was putting at this actual point, there's this creator online, is she a creator, that came to my mind. Her name is Hawanana. Yeah. She does red carpet hosting. That's how I know her. And she has a series of making her ordinary life feel extraordinary. So shout out to you, Hawa. And this is very important because when you get to that point in life whereby it feels like you have nothing going on for you, you just have to be delulu. You just have to be delusional about it. Sorry, my iPad acted up. Yeah. So you have to just be delusional. Yeah. The day I started doing this thing and it actually stuck with me was the day I was about to serve myself a plate and I had this Zobo in the fridge. I don't know the English name for Zobo, but it's Zobo that we call it in Nigeria. And I could have as well drank it right from the bottle because they usually come in a bottle that they sell it with. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pour myself a glass of Zobo in a wine cup. And I got my wine cup that I typically only save for when I have visitors I'm serving wine. And I put my 5K Zobo inside it. If you look at it from the glass cup, you would think, oh my God, what kind of wine is she drinking? It's Zobo I'm drinking. But just that part of me pouring it into that expensive glassware made it feel like, yeah, I'm drinking something very expensive. My life is put together. I'm that girl. Yeah. So tiny things like that. If you're doing something that's supposed to be very boring, like maybe doing laundry or deep cleaning your house, play some music while you're doing it. Something I do when I am doing something that's extremely boring that I don't want to do. Yeah, I just play some Barbie playlists and I'm being la 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 la. So you know how Cinderella goes about her chores and she sings. That is what you want to embody so that whatever you're going through does not affect you. Put on a nice playlist while you're cleaning. When you're serving yourself a plate, plate your food nice. Don't just put everything bass. Plate it nicely, okay? Arrange it like how they would normally serve you at a restaurant that is like 5 star or 6 star. Give you that same experience that you'd want to receive when you had money. Yeah. If you have this nice bag that you bought that is like expensive, carry it. Yes, carry it. It's still your bag. Yeah. So those are the things that at least you make you remember that once upon a time I had this money. You might not be here right now, but the money is coming. Okay, so the third thing that you need to learn to do if you're trying to survive being broke for a particular period is to interact with your physical environment. You know, one thing I love so much about being a Christian is how beautiful this earth is. And not to digress so much from the topic of this video, but you know me, yeah, I'm gonna find a way to bring back to the Bible. I've always loved nature in some form or way. Always been amazed by how the entire world is still standing, or rather, is still orbiting. And I started taking walks as a person for fitness. And when I'm taking my evening walks, like I've always been a sunset girly. Let me know below if you're also a sunset or a sunrise girly. I've always been a sunset girly. And I just look up at the sky and see the different colors. The purple, the orange, and sometimes the makeup girly as well. The fact that everything just blends seamlessly. I'm just interacting with nature has always been a way of reminding myself that God is still there. Because with everything that's going on, with all the air pollution, inflation, if we're still able to have sunrise and sunsets still be the same way it is as it has been from the beginning of time, I'm going to be fine. Because the God that's still keeping the sunsets is still there. Okay? So, with that aside, yeah, go outside. If you work remotely, leave your space, leave your room, go for walks, interact with nature. When I go on my walks and you see me, you think I'm actually mad because I be having conversation with the birds. I'm trying to decode their languages. I'm trying to get some corn and feed them and get them to gather around and feed them. You know, if you have a fish pond around you, feed the fishes. You know, look at the sky. Look at the constellation of stars up there. If you're walking out in the night, you know, go outside and get fresh air. Just go outside just hear the world happening around you and see how insignificant you are. I love flying a lot. I mean, not the Nigerian girl in me was not hearing that flying properly because I was saying flying and that form of, you know what I'm saying? So I love catching flights. Yeah. The reason why is because when I'm up there, I just see how insignificant I could be when I'm down there. You get like every single body that feels like their life is coming down, like they're the main character. When you're at that height, everybody just like tiny, 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 tiny ants. And not even themselves with their houses, their mansions, like very tiny. And then it just makes me realize how insignificant and how small I am in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you go to the beach. I've heard someone say that they don't like going to the beach because they see the ocean, just the ocean, and they remember that, yeah, I'm very tiny. When put down all those digital things we have around us, life for that small moment feels very simple. That is why some people actually find it easier to think when they go on walks or when they stay by the balcony or have a walk by the beach, you know. Those things that there, use them. So the next thing which I'm going to talk about right now is something that I have said multiple times on this channel and most likely feels like a broken record, but I'm gonna keep saying it until it sticks, which is stop saving your best things for later. Okay, use them now. You know that special dishware. I don't know why I'm on about some dishware today. We know that special dishware that you're keeping, that outfit that you're keeping for that random day that it's gonna be a big day. Wear it on a random Monday morning. Use that nice perfume, burn that nice candle, wear that nice shoe, wear that nice outfit. Not only does this make you look better, you would feel better because you know that you're wearing some expensive stuff. And because of most like those things that you're keeping for later are most likely very expensive. That's why you're keeping them for later. But when you wear them whilst you're in your broke era, your broke season, you know, that was one time I bought this thing because I had this money. If I could buy it that time, I can buy it again. It kind of works hand in hand with like manifesting or like professing good things coming back to you if you once had that taste of money, if you get it. So stop keeping it for later. Yeah, burn that candle, wear that perfume, wear that nice hair. Okay, stop keeping it for when something else happens because you don't even know what God has in plan and in store for you. And the fact that you already had it right now does not mean that you're supposed to use it right now. Okay, so the next point I have for you that's supposed to help you to romanticize your life even when you're broke. Trust me, this one is one of the best ones, which is creating rituals for yourself. No routines, no habits, because I know that right now those words have been overly used here on the internet. So I get it. So this time around, we're not using routines, we're not using habits. Yeah, we are using rituals because I feel like it's much more romantic. Things like waking up in the morning and not choosing to think about your problem. It's as easy as that. I know it can be hard, but just wake up and just exist and go grab yourself a cup of tea. It doesn't even need to be fancy jasmine tea. It can be milk and Milo, as simple as that. No, grab yourself a cup of tea in that very fancy glassware that you're keeping for later. Now that I think about it, I've never actually had a glass of tea that is milk and Milo in a very expensive mug, and journal while you're at it or listen to some form of nice edifying podcast, you know. Just act like it is before it is, you know. If you're wanting money to come back to you, act like you're already making the money. So that the money will stand in that, okay, this auntie, she's already having the lifestyle, someone that has money. Let me come back and meet her. Do you get? Growing up, I used to watch Barbie. I had every Barbie item you could think about. So whenever life is beginning to stress me, I just got my iPad and I just look on TikTok for long Barbie movies or cartoons that I love to watch as a child. Have you tried watching Tom and Jerry not as an adult or Ben 10? I don't know, Powerpuff Girls. It just takes your mind back to that point in your life where you're not thinking of tax, when you're not thinking of bills to pay. One thing I need to let you know when it comes to this ritual is that you cannot go and copy someone else's ritual. You have something that is very personal to you, that's tied to who you are, your current reality, where you are right now in your life. So if someone else's ritual is going for evening drives and right now you don't have a car, you're not going to say, I'll borrow someone's car to go and do my evening drive. Why are you having evening drives as a ritual when you don't even have a car? It can be a form of journaling, it can be a form of reading old newspapers. I mean, the rituals go on and on and on. But ensure that these are the things that tell your brain that I am doing this for myself, not because of it makes sense to anybody. That can be your own form of ritual, okay? So whatever works for you, do it. It can even be coloring. How did I think about that the first? Something that works for your peace of mind, that works for your sanity, and makes you calm and forget that you don't have money. Okay? Okay, the next one, still speaking about social media. Yeah, this next one is very, very important, and most people don't always remember that this exists, but it is curating what you consume in a world whereby we have social media everywhere and we have digital screens literally everywhere we go. I mean, we're already aware that what you consume constantly, what you look at, has a way of affecting. So instead of always watching videos, watching things, listening to music or podcasts or shows that remind you of your current situation, how about you change that narrative, block that actual creator, or uninterest that actual post, or mute it for the time being, and rather fill that vacuum with content, with videos that actually helps you to be the person you want to be. So right now, given that you don't have money, given that you're broke, given that shishi is not in your account, how about you use this time to fill up your FYPs with things that inspire prosperity, that inspire wealth, that inspire peace of mind, because I'm a firm believer of, if you're always watching videos that talk about everybody is a witch, eventually you start believing that everybody is a witch. Trust me, I have seen it in less of it. Like when I see people that act a certain way, half the time it's based on what they consume regularly. And even on Instagram, we have a part of IG whereby you can actually state the things that you like to be seen, things that you prefer to be seen, and to curate it for you. It might take a while, but it will align itself in the long run, okay? To confuse the enemy. It's when you don't even have money that you shouldn't be watching things like, oh, how to invest in real estate. At least get your mind thinking of, okay, things that surround prosperity. Try it out and let me know what you think about it when you try it out. I know being broke isn't fun, okay? And the whole point of this video is not to romanticize financial struggle. God forbid bad thing. If anything, I pray that every one of us and our entire family becomes ridiculously successful in the things that we find passion in, and we'll find ways of making money even when we're still sleeping. But whilst we are working towards that goal, I believe that our lives do not need to be miserable in the meantime whilst we're still getting to that picture that we're trying to have for ourselves. You deserve the joy and peace and the romance before the grand promotion, before you hammer, before you blow up, because life is always happening, and I don't want you to miss out on the little tiny things that are happening right now because you're so focused on that big thing, because you're so focused on you don't have the physical money that you want to have right now, okay? Work with the things you have right now and make it count, because when you didn't have the money, you cannot know what to invest the money in. Okay, so that's all for this video. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till next time, bye for now.